Hi, welcome back to the Cordless Vacuum Guide, and in this video, we'll have a close look at ILIFE's two floor washing robots, the W400 and W450. ILIFE's robots are unique from other robot mops I've tested in that these have clean and dirty water tanks. So in addition to cleaning stains, these robots can pick up liquid, something that other hybrid options cannot do. Unfortunately, these robots aren't designed to vacuum debris, thus it's limited to cleaning stains or wet messes. Which isn't bad since specialized machines tend to do better at what they do. Another benefit of these dedicated mops is the low noise levels, so you can use it early in the morning or late at night without waking up your neighbors if you live in a condominium. So that is a practical benefit. The ILIFE W450 is considerably more expensive than the W400, so is it worth the higher price tag? I've put these two products through a series of tests on various types of messes on hard surfaces to see which option is better. I'll share the similarities, differences, and the results of the tests to help you decide which will better fit your needs. Full disclosure, ILIFE sent me these robots for free to test, but as you'll see in my reviews, I base my findings on test results to be as objective as possible. I'll share the good and bad points of these robots so there's lesser risk of buyer's remorse on your end. First off, let's look at the features of these robots and their similarities. The ILIFE W400 and W450 are floor washing robots with a roller attachment similar to products like the Bissell Crosswave, where a single roller underneath helps it clean stains and pick up liquid. In terms of design, these products have the same body type with a top handle, making them easy to move around. Unlike robot mops, these floor washing robots won't return to their docks after the run. You'll have to place it on its charging bay to recharge. These trays are made from solid plastic, so it's waterproof. Plus, it has a recessed area to catch droplets of water. Just make sure the charging pins don't get wet, but overall, it's a good design for usability. Both have an eject button in the middle to remove the water tank assembly. Both have a twin water tank system where clean and dirty water are stored separately. The clean water tank can hold up to 850 milliliters, and the dirty water tank has a 900 ml capacity, good for around 30 to 40 minutes of mopping. I like that the clean and dirty water tanks are separate since it prevents cross-contamination. However, these containers are fixed, meaning you can't remove them. The clean water tank has an opening right here that you need to fill up before using it. However, ILIFE doesn't recommend using any detergent inside, but they do sell a cleaning solution that you can pour in the tank for mopping tough stains. The dirty water tank has a small slot behind it that ILIFE recommends emptying after every run. However, neither tank can be opened fully, so you'll have to rely on this brush to clean the inner components if it gets dirty. Underneath, both have the same layout and the same roller width. The only difference I see is the groove patterns on the wheels. One feature I like is the side wheel placement that's not in the way of the roller. Having it flush to the side minimizes the risk of tire marks. In front of the rollers are tiny holes that spray water to help the roller clean stains and keep it from getting dirty. Behind the roller is a squeegee that helps scrape liquid off the surface. Both have similar tools out of the box, like an extra roller and a brush cleaning tool for scrubbing the dirty water tank. Also, these robots have a remote control that provides access to the basic features, which is a common theme for ILIFE products. One unique aspect of ILIFE's floor washing robots is its ability to pick up liquid, thanks to the dirty water tank. This is what other robot vacuums can't do since they only drag a wet pad and cannot pick up liquid. As the roller spins, it funnels liquid towards the inlet, and the squeegee behind it scrapes up remaining fluid on the surface. I mentioned earlier that these machines have tiny holes that mist water in front of the roller. This is an essential feature that keeps the roller damp and relatively clean even after cleaning heavy stains or large messes like this. None of the other robot mops I've tested can pick up substantial liquid messes like this without stopping the robot and changing the pads or risk damaging it. Another benefit of the roller over a pad is it's much easier to clean, and one hack to speed up the drying process is covering it with a microfiber towel, then squeezing it to absorb water. Despite the similarities, there are many differences which can be deciding factors. The first difference is that W450 has Wi-Fi and is compatible with the ILIFE app. It's a significant difference as the app enables consumers to control water levels as well as clean and dry cycles. It's something not possible with the W400. Having this feature affects how these robots function and the type of mess they can clean. With the W400, there's no way of controlling water flow or the number of passes, so you're stuck with the default settings. Not a big deal with cleaning small to moderate spills, but I wouldn't recommend it for messes like this because of its tendency to stall, which I'll explain further in the next section. The next difference is navigation. While both robots move in predictable patterns, only the W450 has a top-mounted camera. This helps it track location and have a live map while it's running, so users can monitor its status. However, there's no map-saving feature, which is somewhat disappointing for me given the cost. Since it uses a camera, I was concerned how it would navigate in low-light conditions. But it did well for a camera-based robot and move around without a hitch based on this night vision recording in a dark area, which is good news since you don't need to turn on the lights for it to function. Also, the W400 seems to have a crisscross pattern since it went in both directions during the tests, while the W450 only mopped in one direction. Lastly, and another potential deciding factor is the ability to control the clean and dry function, available in the W450 that's absent in the W400. I did a lot of tests with how it handles dry stains and wet messes, and the W450 is far better because of these two separate functions. Consumers can also control the brush speed and water usage, but realize you'll need to use the app to enjoy these benefits. Otherwise, it will revert to its default pattern, which won't be as thorough. There's no way to control the W400's number of passes or water usage, so it won't be as thorough, thus leaving more liquid residue. I did a lot of experiments with these two robots, and these are torture tests to determine their strengths and weaknesses, and these experiments revealed a lot. First, I tried it on dry juice stains, which all robot vacuum and mop hybrids struggle with. While robot mops are able to clean the stains, it left a sticky residue because of the sugar content. The W400 and 450 are able to handle these stains well, with the W450 having a much better result and leaving a nearly streak-free surface after the cleaning and drying run. The W400 didn't do as well, and I needed to do a second run to take out the sticky residue. This is what I meant when I said earlier that the ability of the W450 to control the number of clean and dry passes can be a deciding factor. The surface was nearly dry after the run, and I didn't see any visible streaks. So for tough, sticky juice stains, the W450 is the better option. Next, I tried it on large quantities of liquid spills, grape, red wine, and prune juice, three of the toughest to clean. I wouldn't dare try this on a robot mop hybrid since you'll need to clean this type of mess afterward, which takes more time than just mopping the spill. A robot with a spinning pad can clean a smaller quantity, but I wouldn't recommend it for this much as it will leave a sticky mess. This is where the sprayer, roller brush, and dirty water tank come into play. The W400 and W450 are able to pick up the liquid on the surface, but the W450 is the far better option, again because it's more thorough and it didn't stall. The W400 stalled in several occasions and took too long to finish, so I stopped waiting. I'm not sure why it did. It could be that these grooves on the wheels caused it to slip, but it's just a guess. The W450 didn't have any stalling issues, even with this much mess, as it was methodical in how it picked up juice and later on how it dried the surface. I didn't even have to mop since there was almost no streaks afterward. Again, with liquid messes, the W450 is the better option. One thing that could hinder you from purchasing it is the cost, since it nearly doubles the price of the W400, but that's about it. Now let's look at some of the negatives or quirks of these robots. The biggest negative, in my opinion, is the inability to fully open these tanks, especially the dirty water container. Over time, dirt will build up inside and there's no way to clean it thoroughly aside from using the brush. What I'd recommend is to fill it up with clean water after emptying it to flush out the contaminants before they build up into something worse. However, this shouldn't be a surprise since most robot mops have a sealed tank to prevent leaks and keep costs down. The next issue is these robots will not dock on its own, so after the run, you'll have to carry it and place it on a charging base. I'm guessing ILIFE did this to force consumers to drain the dirty water tank. Despite having an app, the W450 cannot save maps, which defeats its purpose. The spot cleaning function also lacks practicality since you can't place it on the map. I tried using it on an existing one, but it disappeared, only showing an icon of the robot. So it's hard to gauge the size of the box to draw, and it only acts as a spot cleaning feature. ILIFE has to improve upon these app limitations if they want to take this robot to the next level. These robot mops measure over 4 inches tall, so it will not go underneath low clearance furniture. The last point isn't really a con, but it's worth mentioning that you can't use any of these robots on carpet. It's not designed for this task and didn't even go over this area rug. To conclude this comparison, these robots are excellent options for mopping floors. But based on tests, the W450 is better suited for heavy-duty cleaning tasks thanks to its more thorough algorithm versus the W400. If you're looking for something that will pick up spills or clean dried stains, the W450 is the better alternative despite the more premium cost. The W400 won't do as well as the W450 on heavy messes, but it's a good cheaper alternative for folks who don't want to pay a premium. It does a good enough job at mopping smaller stains or light spills. If you've made it this far, I'd like to say thank you and consider giving this video a thumbs up if it's been helpful to you. It goes a long way in growing the channel and reaching more people. Subscribe and hit the bell icon to get notified for future reviews like this. Links are in the description for more information. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.